How are things on your side of the world?
Things are good. Yeah, it's starting to get a bit cold now, but yeah, we're going on tour from Tuesday, so I've been buying warm clothes today.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. It's actually unseasonably warm here, and so I'm kind of loving it. I hope winter never comes, personally.
Oh, that sounds amazing right now.
Well, thank you so much for taking some time to talk with me today. I wrote a review of your Regenerate album a couple weeks ago. We posted it on the magazine Rock Golf Photography and Music magazine. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I was not familiar with your music, so when Sean asked me to do the review, I was like, okay, I'll check it out, and I just loved it. I thought it was great. So congratulations on that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we're really proud of the release. It's the first one. We're around 6 years now, and when we first started out, we started out like as a pub band, like a covers band, and um, then we started to take it a little more seriously. A couple of years later, we formed Skarlett Riot, and we all actually met at school. And
Oh,
guitarist and drummer are brothers, so it's quite closely knit,
yeah.
which is pretty cool. And we only decided we wanted to start writing our own music when we first formed Skarlett Riot, and wrote a few songs. Thought we'd see how it went, and released our first album, Tear Me Down, and
Yep.
in 2013, and we just seemed to get a great reaction from it. We ended up on big festivals like Download Festival, Bloodstock, some of the biggest in the UK, and I think that gave us like the push we needed to say, right, we want to be serious about this. You know, we want to see how far we can take it. So yeah, we kicked off since about 2013.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But how was what kind of school were you guys going to at the time? Was it a music school or
It was just general school. I mean,
okay.
we we had music lessons, but yeah, and that's where I met guitarist Danny. We met him in music class. So
Okay.
yeah, we kind of pretty much formed through music.
That's great. That's great. And you talk a little bit about the writing process. What do you guys all write or do you write most of the lyrics or how does that kind of work for you guys?
Lyric wise, I write all my lyrics, and the our guitarist Dan, he'll come up with like a guitar riff or a melody,
Hmm.
and he'll start off the vibe of the songs, and he'll be the foundation, and then from there I'll start writing a little vocal melody to go over the top, and then start writing some lyrics. So
Yeah.
yeah, it'll trigger from our guitarist. He does a lot of the writing, and then we'll take it to rehearsal, and the other guys will jam something out and change bits that they don't like. So yeah, it's pretty much a group effort, but Dan will come up with the foundation of the song.
That's awesome. And I read that you guys on this new album like it's a little harder, a little bit more aggressive than your previous stuff and you just mentioned that you started off kind of pop. Why the shift? What made you shift to this kind of music instead?
I think it was probably a natural progression more than anything. I mean, when we first wrote Tear Me Down, which was our first album, that just came out naturally, but we just seem to have got heavier the more we released. But I think the guys in the band, they seem to listen to heavier music now. So I think it's maybe like due to influences as well, like what they're listening to is to what's coming out for us, I guess. And I think it makes it a little more interesting to play live as well for us. Yeah, it makes it. I think the more that we've been together, we like to make things a little more challenging and a little more technical. So things are more difficult to play on stage and stuff, just to challenge ourselves. So I think that's pretty much where we've taken it now.
I love that. That's good. That's great. So many bands kind of get take the easy way and the popular way, and so I love that you're pushing yourself. I think that's great. Do you
Thank you.
do you remember what your first show was like as your first live show as a band? What was that like?
Actually, I really don't. I'm not quite sure what our first show was because we did so many like cover shows in pubs in like a previous band,
Uh-uh.
and I wasn't sure what our first show was with that because they we had so many, but
Yeah.
and we kind of gradually changed the name to Skarlett Riot and gradually just started adding in a few of our own songs when we were doing pubs. So to actually know what our first show at Skarlett Riot actually was, it must have maybe been 2011, maybe.
Hmm.
But I think it could have been in Gainsborough actually, with just a few friends on a pretty cool stage. Um, we were pretty nervous, I think, as
Yeah,
far as I remember. But
I'm sure.
with us being quite young as well, um, I think there was maybe less nerves then than there is now.
Why do you think? You're just because you're on bigger stages in front of bigger audiences, or why are you more nervous now?
I'd say so, yeah, because like back then, I suppose you're just doing it for a bit of fun. You'd not really gone anywhere with it, but you were doing it obviously just to for enjoyment. You were young, you didn't really know what was coming, what was down the road. But now we're taking it a lot more seriously. We've got the label behind us. We're getting bigger like support tours and things.
Yeah.
And I think I've got more drive now than I ever did have, and I like really want it and really want to live off doing this. So I think there's the nerves from that, making sure you go on stage every night and give it your all, and make sure all those people go away and go, my God, these guys are great.
Yeah, yeah. I can see how that would be nerve-wracking. And so you're touring mostly in Europe right now. Have you toured in the States at all, or will you?
We hope to, definitely.
Yeah.
We haven't toured in the States before, but it's definitely something we've been in talks with. I mean, we've got a lot of people in the USA on our social media saying, come on, you need to come to the States. And even our Spotify statistics tell us that a lot of our listeners are over in the States. So it'd be amazing to be financially able to come over at some point, for sure.
Are there any bands or musicians? I read about all you have some great influences on your Facebook page. A lot of female fronted rock bands, which is one of my primary focus areas too. Any of them that you would really like to tour with or work with in particular?
I mean, would love to do like a tour with I Set to Kill or Hailstorm,
Yeah.
Flyleaf, even bands such as Nothing More and Woven War, and I'm trying to think. Yeah, I mean, a lot of our influences are from USA bands. I absolutely love Shinedown as well. So
Mhm.
if we could make it happen, that'd be awesome. I think there's plenty of USA bands which our music would go down well with.
Oh, I just went on a mini tour with Nothing More to several of their shows and got to know the guys in the band very well. Such a great group of guys. You would love touring with them. They're just amazing musicians, amazing human beings. I think it would be I'd love that. I'd love that concert. Let's make that happen. That tour. I'll follow you around the United States with that tour right there.
That would be amazing.
So tell me about the album Regenerate. How was the process of creating it? Do you have a favorite song on the album or a special moment kind of from it?
Well, the Regenerate was kind of written as like a brand new start for the band, really.
Uh-huh.
A couple of years back, we had a few setbacks. Things weren't going as well as we wanted. We were a bit feeling sorry for ourselves, and
Hmm.
Regenerate kind of lifted things back up again. We got signed to the label, we got new management, brand new agency, and everything was all fresh. And it felt like things were going back on track again. So we wrote the album it's like an uplifting message, really, to fans and anyone listening, that it's never too late to start again and change paths and direction in life. And we all learn from our failures and we learn from our success. And it's up to us to pick ourselves back up and be happy, basically. You've only got one life. It's never too late to turn things around. So, yeah, I think the album's got a definite powerful message. And one of my favorite songs would be Warrior and Affliction. Them two are the standout tracks for me. And I
Hmm.
think live, they're really powerful.
What's your live show like? How would you describe your live show to somebody who's not seen it?
Lots of energy.
Good.
I mean, we absolutely love to go wild on stage, running about, and we just enjoy getting the crowd involved and making them feel part of it. And they've traveled and paid for a ticket to come see you. We want them to go away with a smile on their face. I'd say it's quite a fun show. We like to make everyone feel warm and welcome and really part of it. I mean, we've got sing along chants, we've got, head banging, jumping up and down,
Yeah.
all sorts of fun to get involved with. So, yeah, I'd say lots of energy and just having a good time.
I love it. I love it. So, did you always know you wanted to do this? Did you ever want to do anything else as you're pretty young right now, so when I say as a younger girl, did you want to have a different path in mind, or did you always know you kind of wanted to be a rock star?
But I don't think I really ever thought about it. I mean, I went to school and I pretty much got the choice between guitar lessons and singing lessons or like swimming and bowling, and I was like, I'll probably go with singing, see how it goes, and took my lessons and did a couple of solo competitions, and I won one of them, and then I went on to meet in the band, and it just seemed to develop naturally from there. So I never really had like, do I want to do this or do I want to do something else? It just seems to be something I've naturally just progressed into, and but I couldn't see it any other way. I mean, um, I enjoy what I do, and if if I try and think of not doing it and what else I'd do, I have no idea.
No,
I mean, I think I'm not good at anything else. I mean, it's a good job I can sing.
I don't believe that for a second, but you're very good at what you do. I'm sure you have a lot of other things you're good at. So tell me a little bit about what 2018 looks like. Do you have what does that look like for Skarlett Riot?
Right now, we're kind of focusing on this tour coming up next week. I mean, we're out next week until pretty much Christmas Eve, so we'll be taking a break the first month of next year, and but we're looking already at a tour between February and March sort of time, and then we'll have a few festivals. Um, and then our bass player's getting married, so there'll be a little break in the summer, and then we'll be back at it again between September and December, whether it's headline or support. So it'll be another busy year, definitely. And in between that, I guess we'll have to start writing again. So.
Yep, that's the way this business works, right? Well, congratulations to your bass player. How exciting for him. He's getting married.
Thank you.
Tell him we all here in the States say congratulations. So you're doing a lot of touring, a lot of traveling around Europe. I saw some dates in Germany and the UK, and I forget all where you're going. How do you guys get along on the road and kind of keep your sanity when you're in spending a lot of time traveling together?
I don't know really. I mean, we're quite close as the guitarist and drummer are brothers, and I've known the guitarist and his brother for years and years, and our bass player, we met him on the gig circuit. So we're just a group of mates really, and we just have a laugh with each other. And when we're on the road in the van, we're constantly putting on different sorts of music and just messing around. Been a bit goofy, and but I mean, we have travel lodges to sleep in on an evening, but we all kind of cram in one. But I think we know when each of us wants space just to let that person zone out. I mean, I take my iPod with me and I'll just put some music on, or have a game or something, so so you kind of
Yeah.
zone yourself out from everybody. I'd say for me, I mean, I love the guys, but sometimes you just have to have your little own space. And for me, it'd be just putting some music on through your headphones, and especially before I go on stage, I do have like an hour of quiet just to get myself in the mood and relaxed. And when you're warming your voice up for gigs every day, you have to make sure that you keep yourself relaxed so there's no muscles in your throat tensing or anything. So I have to do a lot of relaxation and deep breathing, and I
Yeah.
think that keeps me sane.
Yeah, I'm sure that does. I'm sure that does. But laughter is good too. It's good that you guys can laugh together and joke around and be goofy because I think that really helps people stay together. Laughter's the best.
Definitely, yeah. I think it's so important that you get along, because if you don't, it's no fun, no
Yeah.
fun at all.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So I was when I did the review of your album, your voice is so powerful. Like when I saw pictures of you and then I see your and hear your voice, it's like it almost doesn't seem like that voice can come out of you. How, do people say that a lot? Do you get a lot of reactions like that? And how do you, keep that voice so strong? Where does it come from?
I do actually. I tend to have people going, like, no offense, but I look at you and I don't imagine that voice coming out of you.
Right, right.
It's definitely a compliment. I mean, I'd say just because I've been singing from a young age, it's practice really. Your voice, from what I was taught, is a muscle. It's the same as when you're an athlete and you're running. Just the more you practice and the more you do it, the stronger you get. So same with like working out and being at the gym and building muscle. The more you do it, the stronger you are. So it's just making sure you keep your voice healthy and make sure you practice as much as possible without overdoing it. And I'd say just years of singing in general has just built it up, I suppose, naturally, which is good.
Yeah. What do you think's been your proudest moment so far in your music career?
Oh, that's difficult. To be honest, I would normally say, playing festivals like Download and Bloodstock have been a massive highlight, which they have been great. But I'd say them, like, I guess it's not one moment, but the time we realised would have been like 2015 when we did a headline tour in UK venues. We didn't have one bad show. Every single one was packed out, and everyone was wearing our T-shirts. And I think for me, that's really rewarding. The most rewarding out of anything. Whether you can, it's great to get on big stages and open these big festivals, but when people are coming to your headline shows with wearing your T-shirts, singing your songs, and you're selling venues really well, I think that's when you start to get to a point where you're like, wow, people are actually coming to see us, and they want to see you, and they're spending money on you and learning all your lyrics and shouting them at you, like loving your show on stage. And for me, that's the best feeling.
Yeah, I can't even imagine that. I imagine that is such a great feeling. I just went to see Evanescence last night, and they're touring here in the States with a symphony orchestra. And that was like amazing. That, and she talked about, Amy Lee talked about that interaction between the fans and her, and how she just almost feels like she knows them because you spend this time together, and you spend this energy together, and it was just really, really touching. I can't even imagine how that feels.
That's amazing because, like, I've booked tickets to see them with that orchestra, and they're coming over to the UK to do that tour in April next year. So I've
Oh,
actually got tickets. It's the first time I've ever seen them live as well. So I'm so excited.
it was my first time seeing them live too. You are going to love that show. I am telling you, you are gonna, like, I almost wept at a couple of the songs. They were so beautiful. You are going to love it.
Oh, I cannot wait.
So what do you miss?
I booked the ticket, and I was like, right. I love touring, don't get me wrong, but I really hope the tour does not land on that day because I really want to go. But I booked it, and I was like, we'll take the risk because I really want to go.
Yeah, you got to make it happen. You got to get there. You will love it. So what do you miss the most from home when you're on the road?
My cat.
Oh, you have just one cat, or you have more than one cat?
I have two cats.
Two cats.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'd say for me, I mean, obviously, I miss my own bed, a Travelodge bed. It's okay, it's better than the van bed, at least we get Travelodge. But I miss my cat because I'm a big animal lover, and I suppose your pet makes your home, doesn't it? When you're home, and
Absolutely.
they're just on the edge of the bed and they're purring away, and you can have a little cuddle with them. Yeah, I'm a big animal lover, so when I'm away from home, I'm like, I just want to pet all the animals.
Yeah, that is hard being. I only have a fish right now, but I even miss my little fish when I'm away.
Oh.
So, if what do you want the world to know about Skarlett Riot? Like, what's just something that you really want people who don't know you yet to really know about you and the band?
It's a difficult one. I'd say we want people to listen to our music and get a positive energy from us. We tend to write we want to hear from people that, oh, your music's really helped us through a hard time, and I can really relate to your lyrics. And we've even had someone come to us and say that our music's helped saved their life. You know, they've listened to us and picked themselves back up right off the floor. And
Mhm.
for me, that's really rewarding. That's one reason why I do this. You know, when you write that album and then you get people saying how much your music's helped them. So yeah, for us, that's what I'd want people to know, that we write music to give like a general positive energy and a positive vibe to anyone listening.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What's your next will you have another single released from Regenerate? Do you know what that'll
We
be?
do, yeah. We've just released Affliction. I think it could have been Friday.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll be bringing out a video for it in 2018, but we released it for digital download on Friday, just so people can listen to it before we head out on the road with Santa Cruz next week, and then in January we'll be bringing out a video for it.
Okay. Who does your videos? Do you guys produce and create your own videos, or do you have somebody come in and do those for you?
But we've actually used the same guy from day one. Rolling Vision, that they're called, and they're quite local in the UK. But every single video they've done, they just seem to better themselves each time. So we've just stuck with them. They do a great job, and they just get better and better. So yeah, we're stuck with them guys, and it seems to work. So
Yeah, I've loved the videos that I've seen so far, so I'm looking forward to seeing this one as well.
thank you.
Yeah. Well, listen, I know you're super busy, so I don't want to keep you too long. I appreciate you taking some time to talk with me today on a Sunday. This should be your day off and your day to rest. And we hope to see you in the States very, very soon. I think your music's great, and we want to spread it far and wide over this direction.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that, and thanks for taking time to talk to us and help us get our music out. We do appreciate it.
Absolutely. We'll make sure you get the link and everything. And I hope you have a wonderful 2018, and we'll hopefully see you soon.
Thank you very much.
All
Nice
right.
to talk to you.
You too. Take care, Skarlett.
Bye.
Bye.